Have a look through this data and find out exactly what we're talking about here, because we're talking about data from Freedom of Information requests requested from every police force for the last 3 years, and they were asked about crimes where there'd been some involvement of Twitter and Facebook. And really, some of these, I mean, we're all used to hearing about cyberbullying now, but some of the other threats are quite serious indeed. Threats to kill, harassment, sexual offences. I mean, what should we read into this? Because, of course, not all of these cases, we should say, actually mean that a threat to kill was made over Twitter. There was just some mention of Twitter in it.
No, absolutely right. So the crimes which are conducted on social media are very broad and diverse. Some are relatively unserious, others incredibly serious indeed. A small body of them have very serious offline consequences indeed. We've seen people being financially ruined due to things happening on social media, and a small number of cases we've actually seen people committing suicide too.
So really quite serious cases,
Absolutely.
but as you say, a whole range of cases there. So let's take a closer look at exactly what the forces actually reported. Not all of those approached actually reported figures, but 24 out of 45 forces said there'd been some rise in the figures where Twitter had been involved, even more when it comes to Facebook. 38 out of 45 saying that in actual fact they'd seen an increase when it came to the number of cases where Facebook was being cited as well. So is this significant? Not every force saying they've seen an increase.
No, indeed, and surprising that it isn't. Every year we're seeing millions more people beginning to use social media and using it regularly. It's now, we spend more internet minutes using social media than any other form of activity online. Over half of us regularly use social media in Britain every week. So I'm surprised that not all forces really have seen this. This is a story of us trying to deal with both the bad as well as the good side of kind of living in the digital age.
But it is quite significant when you look, and you break this down to some of the areas in particular. Let's just take a look first of all at London and the Metropolitan Police. You can see there the number of cases there involving Facebook, they say, has risen from 935 in 2012 to over 1,200 last year. Sharper eyes, if we look at what's happened in Greater Manchester there, the number of cases that cited Facebook being involved somewhere doubling since 2012, 959 last year. And if you look at Staffordshire, that was the biggest actually. You can see there over 1,269. So you're saying there, you know, part of this is due with our greater use of social media, but what's quite clear as well, it's not just a case that the number of cases are rising. Enforcement isn't always working either, is it?
No, and you can see from this graph here, it really gives you a sense of how quickly this phenomenon is emerging. So the police really are, I think, scrambling to catch up with having to consistently apply laws now online as well as offline. You know, they're faced with a number of different challenges around investigations, and of course how to do this in a way which is consistent with people's privacies and
Indeed.
Consistent with their sense of freedom.
Of course, and if we look at the Staffordshire figures in more detail, it's quite interesting you break it down, because they're saying 326 cases involve some form of harassment, 38 threats to kill, 13 rape allegations involving minors. So really quite a tall task here. What is the solution? Where do we go from here?
So it sounds like science fiction, but I really do think we have to move towards a cyber police force, a specialist group of police officers who are trained and equipped with the technology and the skills that they need to actually go about and investigate crimes that either are just based online or have an important digital dimension to them.
Okay.